Olá, Lula, desde México.
Hola,
Sí.
mi amiga Lula. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, everyone. Well, I think we can get started, Tel. What do you think?
Yeah, people can trickle in,
Yes.
but I just want to start by saying hello and welcome. My name is Theo. I work at the Lifelong Kindergarten Group, and today I'm joining you with my friend.
Carol or Carolina. And I also work at the Lifelong Kindergarten Group, and I'm joining from the UK as well as Jenny here in London. And
And I'm in
yeah.
Cambridge. I'm right at the lab in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it. And today, like since you are starting to get, to warm up and to tell your names and where you're joining, we also invite you to share, to be in the mood of this webinar. Like, what is a children's book that you love? A children's book or a children's story that you like, that you love, or that you used to like when you were a kid?
Please share with us in the chat. Caro, is there a book that you really liked when you were a kid that comes to mind?
Yes, I think I shared earlier, like I do have this book that has been since then. I actually bought this book again as an adult, but my favorite book when I was a kid was the Solitary Mystery, like O Dia do Coringa in Portuguese, that
Mm.
tell the story about this kid and his father that will go like around. They will travel all over Europe to find this boy's mom. But the thing that resonated with me was that like throughout this path that they had, they would find and meet the different signs of the playing cards,
Yeah.
yeah, and there was this main character that they would find in the end that was the Joker. And then because of the book and because of many stories of the book and things that I would, just like reflect about it too, until today I collect the Joker card, from the playing
Oh, I
card.
didn't know that.
Anyway, it's a really interesting book, and it's mixed with philosophy for children as well. I think that made me think about a lot of, helped me start thinking about thinking about life.
Thinking
uh,
about thinking.
yes, and yeah, so that was my book, but I
Very
shared too
cool.
much. I want to know also about you, Tal.
Um, there's kind of a similar vibe book that I liked as a kid. It was called The Phantom Toll Booth. And the thing that I liked about it was that it was also this like journey, kind of a magical journey. But it had a lot of math and mathematical characters and riddles and puzzles. And so I think that's something that really drew me to it. And saying hello to our friends Rupal and Marcella. Lula shares that she loves Julio Verne books. Mitch is
Amazing.
here too. Hi, Mitch.
I
He
made,
loves The House with a Hundred Stories. That's a really nice book. I've just learned of the book of that book this year. That's a great one.
yeah, me too. It's a great
Thanks
one.
for sharing, everyone.
Thank you for sharing, and keep sharing as soon as as soon as
Yeah.
you see someone joining our webinar today. And today we're here to bring a book to life or bring a story to life with OctoStudio. And to get started, of course, we want to share about OctoStudio, right? What is this that we are playing with today? So OctoStudio is this totally free coding app that allows us to create stories, animations, games, everything we imagine with both digital and the physical world in a very low floor, in an easy way to get started with coding. And to introduce you to some of the possibilities that we do have with OctoStudio, I'm going to play this video for us. Yeah. Cool. Tell, I noticed that both of us were dancing.
I always have to bop my head to the
Yeah, this is
song.
so
It
good, so
gets
good.
old.
Yes. I was going to
Big
talk
shout out to
about,
Eric for picking like the
yeah,
best song.
come on, it's so good. And we are always showing this as an introduction to OctoStudio because it actually shows a little bit of what it's possible to do with it. I'm going to show again now, just talking a little bit about it. Like you can see, you can use it as a controller for games. You can take photos of things that you see around you, or even like drawings that you made by hand, and import it as your character, the object you want to animate, right? Um, you can do like use the sensors of the phone or the tablet to make something tilt. You can mix that with some physical materials like cardboard or paper. You can use also the sensor as like the lantern, the lantern. How do you say
The
the
flashlight.
flashlight of your phone to make some effect on that too, like we're seeing in this example here. And then you sometimes also can, just put that in your hands or in your pocket and make that with the shake of your phone, of your tablet, um, start something in your project, start something that, in this case here, like, just like playing both physically and digitally too. And you can connect to phones or even more with using your Bluetooth sensors and all. And here, like as a last thing that we are also going to share more in the end, is how easy it is also to share your projects directly from, you just created something and it's so easy to just send it through a WhatsApp
Mhm.
group, or, you want to send a card to someone as a project, or even like just upload it. OctoStudio is free, as I said. Like there's no internet needed. You can use it without like it doesn't require any account, so it doesn't collect data. It's pretty safe for children in that sense. It's available in more than 30 languages these days. It has accessibility features as well, and it's free, completely free, again I say. And I think one thing we like to say is that it's always going to be free, so there's no ads. It's not like an app that you're going to download and then at a certain point, oh, to use this you have to pay. No, you don't have to pay for anything. It's completely free, and there are no in-app purchases. So if you still don't have Studio downloaded, Jenny, thank you. Jenny is sharing in the chat right now how you can download from the iOS store and also Android and Chromebook store
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah, so it's I just want to point out that it's been recently launched in Chromebooks, which we know that a lot of educators, that might be the device that you already have accessible to you in your school and your learning space. So please do check that out. And maybe while people get downloading the app, and I wanted to share a little bit about what our group, Lifelong Kindergarten, how we think about creative learning. So OctoStudio is just one of the many tools and activities that we have developed here at Lifelong Kindergarten with the overarching goal of fostering more creative, curious, caring, and collaborative um, people all over the world, right? Like in such a rapidly changing world, we really think that the best way to prepare young people for the future is to foster their creativity, their kindness, their curiosity, and their collaboration skills. And we think that we can do this in learning experiences when kids get to work on projects that they are passionate about alongside their peers and following a playful approach. They get to tinker and try new things and experiment. Um, and this isn't just a one-time process either. Like every project is part of a bigger iteration of creating and making. And to illustrate this, we also talk about the creative learning spiral, which starts off with, having some inspiration and imagining something you want to see out in the world, creating that, any kind of artifact to put out that inspiration. And it could be a painting, it could be an essay, and it could be an OctoStudio project. Playing with what you're making, tinkering with it. What if I change this here? Also sharing something that you've made with others and seeing their reactions, getting energized by them, and maybe getting some new ideas of things that you might want to do differently or try out next time. And so now you're reflecting on what you've just done and starting to get inspired and imagining something else that's coming up. And so this is like a never ending, it's called lifelong kindergarten for a reason. And today, we are going to be living the creative learning spiral in this webinar too, because we'll have three different moments. We'll spend some time imagining and getting inspired by ways that educators from all over the world have used OctoStudio with books and literacy. We'll spend some time making projects ourselves, and we definitely want to invite you all to join us during this time, play around with the app and see what you can make in the time that we have. And we'll spend some time sharing back what we've made with each other, as well as just some ways in general that you can share in your classroom or in your learning space.
Beautiful. Thanks, Tal, for sharing so much about creative learning at this moment. And as Tal said, like we're going to start by getting inspired with what people have been doing. So the first place we land is in this third grade class in Canada, where their teacher, the Miss Perry, created this activity where the students would, create storytelling, create a coding planner to bring a story, to bring even part of a story to OctoStudio. So by using like this tool that she usually was using before, that was like the story planner, also like connecting it with OctoStudio is something that they end up saying it was a way of supporting those students who usually do not like to create and write stories, so or write full stories, and but then just like mixing this different approach with their class made them think that was something even more interesting to do. And then you can see, there's this coding planner that is like this piece of paper where they would just like start creating the story there, and then using OctoStudio to bring that to life in a way that they felt it could work best for them. So
And actually, I wanted to note that what I really like about this coding planner is that it sort of mirrors making an OctoStudio project already, right? It says at the beginning, what are some
yeah,
scenes in the story? What are some characters? What do they do? And so you see when we make an OctoStudio project, we're thinking about the backgrounds, the
yeah.
characters in it, and the what do they do? A lot of that can be covered by the coding blocks to create interaction and action in the scene. So this is a really great example of a way
Yeah,
you.
I love like Miss Perry, and then Anna, who I don't know if it's Miss Perry herself, like is sharing this with us. How you can start using a story planner to create projects with OctoStudio. And the second place we're going to land is
Oh, so this is a first grade class in Brazil. And it's a really good example of how you can, maybe with younger students, combine some literacy skills, some movement, and some storytelling by using OctoStudio. So teacher Laura in this class, she started out by printing some images of objects that in Portuguese start with vowels. So there's a ring, where Portuguese is anel, so that starts with A. There's a bone, so that's osso, starts with O. There's escada, that's a ladder, and it starts with E. And so she put pictures of all of these objects all around the room and started off by having the kids go on like an object hunt for objects that started with some specific vowels. And once everybody had found some objects and had come sit down, they worked on bringing those objects all together into an OctoStudio project. And kids made their own projects as well as making a project together with the whole class. So this is a really great way to bring in some action and to be able to like engage younger kids also with some literacy and with OctoStudio. And for the third example we wanted to share, so this is connecting poetry and OctoStudio is another really fun thing that we've done and we've seen other educators do also. So the nice thing about poetry is that it's so visual and full of sensory imagery and description. So there's always like a little seed of inspiration or something that you might want to pull into a project. And so the picture here is from a workshop that we did at a local library where we had printed out some sample poems that we found for the kids, and they ranged from short and silly to like deep and insightful. And what we found is that giving them some poems to start off was really, really generative. And actually, this very short Purple Cow poem was really inspiring to a lot of kids, right? So it goes. I never saw a purple cow. I never hope to see one. But I can tell you anyhow, I'd rather see than be one. And I think kids found this funny and silly. And we saw some projects that were sort of, taking this format and going with it. We saw, I've never seen a pink dolphin. I've never seen a blue flower. So this is another way that you can start off with OctoStudio and literacy skills in your classroom. And we actually have a link to about a dozen or so of the sample poems that we used in this workshop that we thought worked out really well, if anyone wants to take a look.
Amazing. And also, we are seeing there's three different examples of OctoStudio in the school setting. And we would love to know also about you, like, even if you are not exploring it in school, but in another setting, like, what is something that, from these examples here, are there anything that sparks an idea to you or something you'd like to try, or even something that you already tried with your own community? We would love to know that too.
Yeah, which of the examples made you go, oh, that's interesting? Or like, oh, I see how I could adapt this to my space. We
Mhm.
always love to hear and we learn so much when educators share with us.
Yeah.
Rupa already says, I tried doing a vowel hunt with my daughter and it was super fun way to make a project together. I remember this project. Yes, that sounds really fun.
I love that. Well, we are also, as Tao said, we are creating as well today.
We're gonna going around our spiral.
Yeah, we're going around on it.
And so, please feel free to keep sharing in the chat throughout the rest of the webinar. But we can also get started with the moment where we can create. So if you have a device with you, you know, please create along with us. And when we get to the create part, you can make something that you want to make. There's no step by step or tutorial really, but here are just some prompts and questions maybe to get you started. So you can think about based on the story that you want to use in your project, what is the character that you might want to bring into the project? Where does the story take place, right? Like what backgrounds might you pick? What does the character say or do? What happens in the story? So this might relate to what kind of coding blocks we might look for. Um,
Beautiful.
so then should we start? Should we?
Yeah. And yes,
Yeah.
so as an example project that we usually like to bring to get started with the imagining creating moment, we are making a project today about this book that is called There's Nothing There. Oh, for a moment I forgot that was also in the screen. It's a book about, like, in short, it's a book about this student Arali who, while is going home from school to home with her mom, like she's always like observing things and pointing out, oh, do you see this? Look what's there, and look what's there. And her mom's like, wait, what are you seeing? And then it's like, there's nothing there. And then she keeps like, no, but see, there's a bird, there's this shape of tree and all of that. So it's a very interesting book, and it's open. We're going to share the link with you later. um, about how to appreciate nature and observe the world around us. And to start creating, we suggest, as we were asking before, like, what is a character that you would like to bring from this story, from this book, and bring it to life with OctoStudio? So a way that we would invite you to start creating your own project to be, choose a character, choose choose a character or an object or something that you want to animate and add it as a sprite first. You can add it. We're going to show it this in a minute, but you can add it as a photo, as a drawing. You can choose from the library in OctoStudio and then bring it to life with some coding. Just get started with something, um, and then, so tell, maybe it's time to
Let's bring it up. Yeah.
let's,
And
uh,
because we just recently launched OctoStudio on Chromebooks, we're really excited to also be doing the demo with the Chromebook with you. But if you're following along and you have a phone or a tablet, that's totally great too.
yes.
Maybe,
So
yeah.
now I'm joining here right by my side. There's a Chromebook here, and yeah, we can just try it out, even because it's something new, as Tao is saying. Let's create a project with it. So by starting it, we can simply start by create a project, and then it asks us immediately, what do you want to add first? And as we're talking so much about characters, let's maybe choose a sprite, right?
That's
Mhm.
right. Mhm.
And then by choosing a sprite, we can choose by painting, as I said. There's the camera that you can take a photo right away and just import it. Or you can go to your photo gallery in the device that you have and even choose from the different emojis that we have here. Since I do have the book with me in my hands, how about we take a photo of a character right here?
Yeah, let's try
That
that.
I'm just prepare myself because I might be
Yeah.
on camera on that side too.
So
So
this is the one thing, with a phone or a tablet, it's you can position the device over the thing you want to take a picture of. The Chromebook, the difference is you have to put the object into the front-facing camera somehow.
yes,
But it
now
works.
I'm trying it. It's quite. Can you tell me if it's good enough?
That looks good to me.
Sometimes it gets a bit like some lighting and stuff, but okay. Yeah, well, it's a sample
Looks
project,
pretty
so
good.
cool. So now you see, I immediately have the photo right there. And one thing we like to do is like we can trace it out, like we can outline just the part of the character that we want to bring, right? Oh, okay.
Wow, so fast. Look at that.
Let's see. Oh, that's because I'm using the touchscreen now. But
Oh,
just because of that, otherwise I wouldn't be able. And then immediately OctoStudio asks you, in the sequence, like, what is the backdrop you want to add? And we can also, like, we can take a photo of the book and bring a backdrop from there. We can draw something and bring our drawing with the camera. But since there are some nature related
yeah.
backdrops here, I think we can just add one from,
Yeah, I think the park one is perfect.
yeah. Now I can, make Arali a little bit smaller than she is there. And yeah, so before we get started, Tao, I just wanted to remind everyone that like we do have different options here in the OctoStudio editor. And one of the things that we can always do to see better how our project looks like is to make it a full screen, right? We can do this in the phone, in the tablet, also here in the Chromebook. So, you can see that I imported the photo. It's looking a bit weird right now, but then of course, if we do make it with more time, it can look better
I
too.
think it looks great.
Okay, yes, I also think, but I'm just saying, it can be something different.
And
But
making the stage full screen sometimes is really helpful when you're trying to resize a sprite or move something around,
yeah,
and it's too small. So that's a tip.
exactly. Yes, yes. Good call.
Okay, so
Uh,
what should character do?
yeah.
Hmm.
So what I'm thinking is, since she's, the story is about like walking on the street and noticing things, maybe she could walk. She could go
Yeah,
somewhere.
maybe she could just walk across the other side of the park.
Great. So if we come here to the left side of our screen, we're going to see the different types of blocks. And then we do have the motion ones. So I'm going to choose the go to. I really like this block because whenever you have a go to block, you can actually click here and point the exact location where you want your character to go. So I'm going to say here, right? Maybe to the other side.
Yeah,
I don't know if she went too far,
I
but
like that.
okay. And then I just click here. Let's test it out to see what's going to happen. Whoa, okay.
She kind of like ran over there.
Yeah, super ran. And I don't think that's the spirit of the story. I like that, just like walk
Casual
slowly.
stroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe let's just, and we can do this with this block as well. We can choose the different speed we want to use. So maybe a medium one is good, right? Let's see how
Let's
it,
try it.
okay, that looks
Okay,
a
that's
bit
good.
better. Okay, nice. Um, what else could happen here? Tell.
Well, in the book, she sees creatures, right?
Yes, as well.
In the city, maybe she sees a bird. Maybe we can pick
Mhm.
a bird.
Yes, yes. Okay, I can notice
Or
that in whenever you see the screen, it's a bit slower than what I see in the Chromebook. So I'm going to do a bit, just like don't mind. Everything is it's gonna happen. So we can click here. I don't know if you saw where I clicked. Like there is this little icon for a new sprite. And then now we can again take a photo from the book. There are birds in the book, so we could do that. But I also feel it's fun to choose something from the OctoStudio library. And we do have some
yeah.
here. So
Anyone in the chat wants to suggest a creature while we're scrolling through? We could
let's see.
any kind of creature.
Oh, do we have a
Somebody said an
yeah.
owl.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I like that, an owl. I
I
think
like
there's an
that
owl in the
too.
toll booth, the book that I mentioned at the beginning.
Cool. Well, now, yeah, that's something too. Like as soon as we put the sprite there, this new character, we can choose where it's gonna go. Maybe it could go here. I don't know. Like since she's
Yeah,
like
I think that
moving forwards, right? And also you see that now the owl is also here, highlighted in this little corner here, is because as soon as we add something, we are coding and we are creating some animation and some story to that character. So now here we don't have anything like the owl is there, but it's not doing anything, right? So maybe we could make it do something.
so we can have her do something.
Yeah.
Well, I want maybe I want the owl to say something
Eh?
to the girl, to Adali.
Yes. What do
Maybe
you
we can
want to
say hello.
say, Tal? Hello? Okay. Easy
Well, I
for
feel like maybe the owl would say like, "Ooh."
like just you? Ooh.
Yeah, maybe we can. Ooh.
Okay. Cool. I like it. Let's see how it's gonna. Cool. Nice. You could also make a
Oh,
sound.
oh, here's a suggestion from the chat. I like this from
What?
Rupal. Who are you? I like that.
I
Who
see.
are you? Yeah.
Who like that?
Yeah, you can do that. Who
I know it's with O, please. Who
are
are
you?
you? Okay. I love that. And maybe for 3 seconds. No, I think two is good, right? Yeah, two is good.
That seems good to
Who
me.
are you? I love it.
Wait, so what happens when we press play? Because
So now, yes,
you
now
just
I'm
clicked on
clicking.
this one, so only the
Yeah,
owl code ran.
just putting the owl to play. But then if I click here in the main play, both things are happening together,
Oh,
right?
so and then she walks towards the owl.
So it walked to
Oh,
maybe. And then we can always adjust that. This is something about OctoStudio, about coding that is amazing. We can just like keep iterating with things, keep trying things out. So maybe now we can just put a rally to get close to the owl, but not in front of her, right? But maybe who are you? And then,
oh, that's
I'm
perfect.
fine.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd become friends.
Maybe Arali could also do something, after she gets there.
Yeah,
What
maybe
else can we
it
do?
could jump or glow or even make a
Oh,
sound.
I think maybe, yeah. Will the sound play?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, let's do maybe that. I
Okay.
feel like that's a great way to bring a visual and a word story to life is to bring out the sounds, add more senses into it. I
Yes,
love
I just want to share like here we also have the words and sounds as in the same space that we got the say block, and then you can play a sound and either choose from the sound gallery. It's not a cat, so maybe not. We do know the sound very well. Um, or you can, make different. There's a bee, which is also not what you were looking for. There are like instrument sounds and all.
Ooh,
Flute.
what does the flute sound? I like that.
This one.
I like the flute, yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah, I like it
I
too.
don't know why, but it makes me feel very foresty. So,
Yes, I love that. Let's see what happens then. And we play everything. Ooh, I like that. Before
yeah.
even saying who she is, she's celebrating. So amazing. Well, this I think it's a good start, right?
Yeah, a great
To
place to
podcast.
start. Uh-huh.
Great place to start. One thing that I want to share here too, since we are also asking and inviting everyone to share, is that um, to share this project, oh, I just got started with it. Now I'm gonna send this to Tel because I'm making it here from London, so I want to send it to Cambridge
Mhm.
now. I can, just like come here to this sharing options, and I can either record a video, a short video with it. I can make a GIF, like a GIF image that will play by itself and share it in social media, for example, or send it through WhatsApp. And I can send the project file too. So if I send the project file, Tel can open it
I
without
have
Studio.
OctoStudio on my
Yeah,
phone.
it
Yeah.
can even continue adding to the project and then sending back to me maybe and adding more, and we can collaborate together
Yeah.
with a project. So I'm just gonna share quickly how, for example, a video would look like. You record your project with the sound and everything, and then you can choose how you want to share from there, right? So like it could be, yeah, you can just save it to your
Can
phone and
email
have
it.
it, or you can
Mhm.
email it. And also, like, I won't stop sharing it now, but you can, if you're using the Chromebook in the classroom, for example, it's also a way of, sharing directly to, I don't know, a Google Classroom or any other learning platform that you do have and use. And we are still learning how to share. So if you do have an idea or an experience with that, we would love to know more.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. With that, speaking of sharing,
See. And share in the chat also what you all have been working on if you've been following along and trying it out, share what character you picked or maybe what story or book you were inspired by. Um, and we'd
yes.
really love to see what you made. So coming up soon, we'll share how you can share with us. Um, so yeah, sharing is a really important part of the creative learning spiral cycle because this is where we get to sort of reflect and integrate the things that we've learned. And we have some prompts sometimes to get people started reflecting and talking about their project. So we can say, I started a project about something something. Something I figured out was something something. Something I like to try is na na na. Sometimes we also will say, if you had more time, what would you do next? These are great ways to get people to just reflect on the work that they've already done. And here we have a QR code to a Padlet where we already actually have some example projects from the webinar that we ran this morning, the same webinar, but just at a different time.
Oh,
And we really love, oh, here we go. Yeah. So people have already been sharing their projects on here. And so we would love to see your projects too, if you are working on one, or even if you work on one later, please share to this Padlet. The Padlet link is also in the chat. And wow, I'm actually realizing that one of our friends, Haley, already shared a GIF of a great project in the chat.
yes, I
That
saw that
looks like
too.
that as like a dog and an alien. That's really wonderful. Thanks so much for sharing, Haley. What a cute puppy. Um,
So keep sharing, even if you want to share later, another day. This Padlet board will be open, will continue to be open, and it's also part of the learning resources that we're going to share with all of you with the Bring a Book to Life theme. So Padlet is yours as well.
yeah. And just to share a few other ways about sharing in a classroom setting. So Padlet has been a really great option that we've tried and we've seen some other educators use as well. It's a great way to collect projects and document them because then you can have that Padlet around for perpetuity. But it's also a good way if you want to project the project on a bigger screen and share with a bigger class what people have made. Similarly, now that we have OctoStudio on Chromebooks, especially from the Chromebook, it's really easy to share your projects with Google Classroom because you can just save it right into the file system. And finally, something we use a lot to share in person, in addition to remotely, is Zoom. So in a classroom setting, we one thing that we really like to do actually is I might have a Zoom call out on the big screen and I might join it from my phone and I will walk around and video somebody else's projects that they're hoping to share on a bigger screen to the whole room. And honestly, kids actually really love feeling like they're on TV and like a roving reporter. What did you make? And what did you make? So definitely try that out at some point if you can. It's pretty fun.
Yes. And it's also like a way, if you can, if it's allowed to record that Zoom call too, I feel it would be, a nice documentation of your own class and things that are going on. It's pretty cool.
This is such a nice group, Karo. I have to say, like in the chat, as we've been talking, there's been this whole conversation about using OctoStudio for bilingual storytelling.
I know.
I think our friend
Yeah,
Saman shared a link, and it's been so inspiring. People are like commenting and asking questions, exchanging contact information. I love that everybody is
yeah.
connecting and sharing these ideas with each other. That makes me so happy.
Yes, that's the thing. I heard a long time ago that the party only makes sense if it connects people. So I feel that this party is a good party. Anyway, and we do have more that we would like to share with you today. Like we mentioned a bit, and now we want to dive in a little bit in the OctoStudio learning resources. And to do that, we are simply going to go and visit the OctoStudio website, octostudio.org, that all of you have access to. Um, and it's also available in different languages. So now I think you can see my screen too. Yeah. So
Hmm.
here I'm live in the website and I'm just navigating through it. You can find, everything about OctoStudio. You can go directly to our YouTube channel. You can have access to support where we have like different questions, like frequent questions from people and the answers to it. So if you go there, you still don't find what you want to know, you are always welcome to send an email to educator@octostudio.org, where we can, support you with that. And then we also have here, and what we mostly want to share today, the learning resources for OctoStudio page. And in this page, we're going to see basically a list of the different things that are available today, like the tutorials and other videos that you can find in the OctoStudio YouTube channel. There's a lot of great content here, even with the short ones, but also like the super master tutorials. that Eric and Zoe have been working on over the years, and many different
Mhm.
themes and ideas for you to try out. I know that some teachers also like they play the tutorial during the classroom, just like we are working on this specific theme, and there's a video about it in the OctoStudio channel. So they end up like just leaving the video right there in case students want to, get some inspiration or try something out. We do have the reference guide. That is something we created mostly to be, something that you can go and search for a specific thing when you don't know exactly what this block or what this option means in the OctoStudio um, app. So for example, here we do have like, you can have a sense of, okay, the screen, how it looks like and what each thing means on that, what you can do. And then, for example, for each type of block, you also can have like, okay, so for example, what we were doing now in the demo, right? Like you have this shoe, the shoe means the speed, so you can choose the different speed by using that shoe. It's not a tutorial for an activity, it's just something that you can go and look for whenever you have some specific question or you want to know more about the app itself.
We always say that the best way to learn is to just try out things and make things and tinker. So the reference guide is not something that I would say like, oh, go look at this before you try OctoStudio so you learn it. It's not that at all. It's maybe even like I
Yeah.
have some deep cut questions about OctoStudio. You might find those answers in the reference guide. But in terms of learning to use the app or how to make things with it, the best way to learn is really to just experiment and explore your own way for teachers and for students.
Perfectly said, Tao. Perfectly said.
Yeah.
That's Thank you. And then one other thing, and something we're very excited to have here in this page, are the activity guides. And we do have some different ones on this page. Like you see that there's this National Geographic and OctoStudio activities that we did in partnership with National Geographic for two different things: explore a world and make a mini game. And when you click there, you're gonna see the National Geographic page itself. And one thing that is interesting about this resource is that it was created together with this explorer from National Geographic community. And an explorer is someone that is always like in nature, looking for different things and respecting it with their work. So for example, this one was about Niharika, someone who observes birds and then make bird sculptures. And with that, like they're always creating art or technology to, study animals or nature, and then, but also in a way that they can preserve even more that animal or the nature around them. So it's a really interesting resource. And for this, we do have an educator guide and slides, an introduction video of, that you can also show your students right away, the profile and the story that is inspiring this resource, and a student activity guide, something that you can print or even project on the screen, to, with like messages in a way that the student can start by themselves what they can do with OctoStudio. And then of course, and then also a Padlet that people can use to that you can use to share the projects themselves. And then we come back here. We also have a make a mini game for that, and we do have some activities for the hour of code that were created for the hour of code, but are OctoStudio activities that you can host at any time of the year for any time that you want
They're
to.
great starter activities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like starter activities. And then that's a good way to put, yes. And then, for example, with the Tilt game, you do have different little videos, introduction videos to the activity itself, and then some suggestions, some things to try out. So, and all that with short videos, like 1 minute or less videos showing you how to add a score to a game, how to add bonus, to a game, how to add different levels to it. Uh, and with that, also an educator guide. When we say educator guide, we're saying we're talking about, and I can show you this, like as soon as we do finish this workshop, this webinar here, we are going to start following up with you. So we're going to send this email following up,
Yes.
sharing new learning resources that are not there on the page yet, but they are here for you. That so with this theme of today, so bring a book to life. And as the National Geographic ones, as the one that we initially created for the Hour of Code, the Getting Started activities, we do have also the educator guide for this one. And that means that it's an educator guide because we thought that this was going to be important, because as we were sharing here in the beginning, is like, it's not just like how to facilitate an activity with OctoStudio, is how can we facilitate this activity with OctoStudio using the creative learning approach? So one thing that we do have here is like a suggestion of how you could facilitate that with the at least three different moments: imagining, creating, and sharing. And also considering, of course, like the different times that you do have sometimes for a classroom, like sometimes it's like 40 minutes, in practice 30 minutes, but then also just this is just an inspiration for you to actually remix that and change that into your own context. And together with the cater guide, we always have like the slides that you can use in the class, so with different examples to try, like those main questions, and some things you can leave on the screen for the students to get started with. And as we were sharing here as well, like we actually use the learning resource to make this webinar. So yeah, that's something we wanted to share with you all. And then we do have the coding cards too, that as Tel was saying about the reference guide, it's also something that you do not introduce that at first to start creating. This is just something that, if in the middle of the activity, while things are happening, like someone asks, hey, is it possible to make my character spin? Oh yes, it is possible, and there's a card for that. Do you want to see it? And there's going to be a card that will just suggest, you can use this code to make that happen. And of course, like all of the cards are interesting, so they also might inspire projects too. But it's also mostly a resource to go to whenever there's already an idea there, right? We do have some resources with the Tinkering Studio. So it's the page OctoStudio Explorations, where they explore mostly OctoStudio together with physical objects and physical context. So like hacking a magazine, playing with patterns, where you can just like create different shapes with your phone or tablet, and then using or not mirrors, you can just like make that create a different effect of animation and things like that. And also we do have some stories here from around the world, from different partners and people we have been working with and collaborating with, that are super, super interesting to know, and more. So yeah, that's our invitation for you also today, like to, whenever you do have some time, go and check this page. There's so much there. And we would be super happy to know also what you have been doing with these learning resources and other learning resources you might also be using to be inspired with.
Do we have one more slide to put up?
Yeah, we do.
So please share anything that you're working on with us on social media. You can tag us at OctoStudio app. We're on LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook. If you're not signed up yet, also you can scan the QR code to sign up for our newsletter. We don't send things every week or too often or anything like that. We send information about, for example, this webinar, and we'll share out, like Carol said, the resources that we just used in this webinar. We'll share them out via email too. So make sure to sign up. And we have like a little bit of time. I was wondering if any of our friends in the chat would want to unmute or come on, the video if you're comfortable and talk a little bit more about the work that you've done because we saw a lot of people sharing really interesting things. Not to put anyone on the spot, but since we have a little bit of time and we always like to connect with people, I thought I would extend the invitation. Yeah, let's see.
Okay. Now I opened the gallery view and I see so many known people, friends joining us
Oh, I
today.
also didn't have the gallery view open. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, it's so much nicer when I get to see your faces.
I know. That's why we were a bit nervous, Tao. It's just we were feeling we were
Thank you
ICG,
so
this
much for
line is here
joining.
tonight. Oh, this afternoon in Brazil, yeah. João as well. Lula. Lula the dog.
Hola.
Olá, Andrea.
Hello, everyone. Good.
Pavid. I don't know if it pronounces Pavid, but it's from Poland. Is that it? I think it was have people from everywhere.
Yes, I'm from Poland. Hello.
Oh,
Hello, nice to meet you.
good to meet your friend. Thanks for joining all the way from Poland.
I'm on my walk with
So
my dog.
late, too. You're walking the dog.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's great multitasking.
Oh, Lola. Lola is the name of the dog. That's sweet.
Oh, cute.
I have a Lola birthday party on Sunday, but it's not a dog. Okay, friends.
Well,
Oh, Salmon.
oh,
Would you
yes,
like to share?
please. I was hoping
Hi,
you would say.
I'm so sorry. I can't open my video because my two kids are just sleeping here. So that's why. Sorry about that.
Oh
But
my
I think we
gosh.
have really enjoyed using OctoStudio. It is very accessible, and when we used it for a project called Traditional Tales and Traditionally Told, it was it was absolutely brilliant, not only for the families who spoke languages uh, where our OctoStudio could be translated, but also they could just record their own voice in their own heritage languages. And it was really interesting that it brought lots of memories of the parents, mainly because the to be
Mm,
honest, the second generation children, it was a family workshop in schools and in libraries and community spaces. So more than children, I would say it was the parents who felt that this was the first time that they could relive the same lullabies that they sang to their
oh,
children in their heritage languages. So it's absolutely brilliant, and we are
so
really looking forward
special.
if there can be more languages uh, included in OctoStudio. But and we are really glad that now it is available in Chromebooks as well, because this was uh,
Mm,
a, a little bit of a barrier in schools, because most of schools had, especially because we are based in the UK, so they had Chromebooks, and it was just difficult if they didn't had any iPads or tablets. So yes,
Mhm.
brilliant work. It's always great to be inspired, and we absolutely love using OctoStudio. So
yeah.
thank you so much, and keep inspiring.
Thank you
Wow.
for sharing. Thank you for talking about the connection to families. That's really very inspiring for us, and it's like something we always like see and want to think more about and do more with. And it's so beautiful to hear that you also have been working on this connection between like kids and their caregivers. And thank you also for sharing this link that has it's so rich in inspiration and resources. I am sure that like I'm just excited thinking about all the other people who will try this out now because you shared. So thank you again.
Yes, yes. And Simon, you are thanking us for inspiring you, but we have to say that you are inspiring us. So thank you so much for sharing it. And we can't wait to continue having the conversation with you
Yeah.
and sharing.
So
And
beautiful. And thank
Natalie,
you everyone
You
for
had
joining
already
us today
seen
too.
that resource, you said. You had already seen the resource before?
wait, who? Oh, Andrea.
I had seen the website. A colleague of mine came across it and passed it on and said, "This is totally for you." And so I scoured it and am trying to develop with a couple of my students, bachelor's and master's students, how we can implement that for teens, and getting them to celebrate their multilingualism, and whether that's, native speakers. I live in Germany, so of German, who are in the foreign language classroom with English or French or other classrooms. So it doesn't matter whether you come with, multiple heritage languages or whatever, at that point, they are multilingual. And then celebrating that for everybody and doing it though at the university, which connects it back to the project where they had it being brought into to an institution, bring those families into the institutions. So we're trying to figure out how can we do that for teens, so it wouldn't be with their parents and families, but to get that age group as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And I guess I'm hearing a lot of family connections. I just shared in the chat another resource related to this from our friend and colleague Rika Rose and her team at TU Boulder, where they've done family creative learning workshops using Scratch and Scratch Junior over the years and have distilled so much of what they've learned about planning for a workshop like this, a model that they found has worked out really well, and just all of their learnings with the years. And even though it's not OctoStudio, it's super adaptable. In fact, we did family creative learning with OctoStudio in July this year based on this model. So I definitely want to put that out there and share that with y'all too. What a great webinar.
I
So
know. I don't know
yeah.
if there are some comments from Erica in the chat. I don't know if you can open your microphone. I would love to hear from your voice as well. Otherwise, we can just read it for you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. What did you want me to say?
You were mentioning about like some teachers who were like a teacher who were afraid to use OctoStudio because wanted to learn everything about it first, right? Before going and trying it out with the students. And then that shift, and also what you said about it. Yeah. If anything you want to share about it, it would be great.
Sure. I'm a librarian, so I run makerspace activities. And when I saw OctoStudio last year, I was like totally blown over with it because I'm like, this is a simple way to get kids coding right away. And with our curriculum changing here in Canada, that was the first way to kind of introduce it to some teachers who are really scared to do coding. And I was like, oh, this is so simple. So she wanted this whole planned out thing because it was the first time she's doing the curriculum for the year. And I was like, okay, like I had it all kind of planned. And my first introduction to the students was to just give it to them, let them play for like 20 minutes and just see what they come up with, what they learn. And then we can start to go into the steps of her project and activity. And it just worked out that I was sick the one day we were supposed to start it. So then the next day I was in, I said, yeah, we can do it today, but I don't have everything set up. So we got to get the students to explore, and she was blown away. In 10 minutes, we had students teaching other students who were really scared, didn't know what to do, and other students that were like just amazing little creators right away. And then they were teaching her, and she was like, wow, they learned so much. They don't need us to do all these steps. And I said, exactly. Now we can go on to step 3. So it was really inspiring. And then she got others to show, and it was just little grade 1s. Like they're only 6 and 7 years old. So it was really awesome. And they had so much fun building little characters out of crafts, taking pictures of them, and then adding them to a picture in the story that I had started to read to them, and then kind of developing the rest of the story. And it was just to do coding standards. It wasn't to like assess literacy or anything, but just being a librarian, it's great to add literacy into it. So yeah.
Make the connection.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Erica. That's a very powerful story, and it kind of illustrates something we talked about earlier, right? Where like often the best way to learn is by following what you're interested in and tinkering and looking over at what your friend is doing and showing them what you just made. And the fact that you saw that all happen in like 10 minutes really speaks to the fun
Yeah.
and the power of creative learning.
And how also like the kids themselves were, inviting and sharing, and also like teaching us how to do creative learning, by the way. It's just like, let's explore and make that happen. I think we're out of time.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry about this because I wanted to continue, the conversation, but already thinking, and I think all of us
We'll
here know,
continue
okay,
over the months.
what can we do next to connect, right? So thank you so much for joining us this morning, afternoon, evening, late night for some. And we can't wait to hear more from you.
Yeah.
And to continue exploring OctoStudio and creative learning around. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Muchas gracias. Obrigada. That's all I have.
Dank, arigato, 谢谢.
Ciao. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.